home, loaded up Sid, his son's car, on the trailer to come out to the track.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys, you talk about hard-working people.
They are.
These are, Checker Plate Asphalt, they're one of our huge sponsors and stuff, too. They've done all the asphalt out of the track. Huge thanks to these guys. Just did a huge seal coating on it. But Don Schott was fast. It was, as soon as he took off, I'm like, okay, well, I said this is going to be easy to announce because Don's going to... Brian Roden.
Yeah, that's a tough field. Sunset Street Stocks.
Man, Brian Roden came out of literally nowhere and was challenging inside, outside. It was him and Schott, and then like I said, it was side by side all the way back 5 rows deep. You had Sid Schott back there. You had Brian Roden. You had Travis Cook, Mark Farah. And I'll get your name, Mark, right by next time you come on. I still want to call you Ferrera right now. I'll just call you Marky Mark, but no, you probably don't like that anyways. But no, it was such a tight field all the way through. Chase actually came up and he started deep in the field and came up and was challenging for third. These guys were back and forth all the time. And then, just craziness is that caution flag comes out, right? All of a sudden, Roden's gone, okay? Because he took the lead. Took the lead from Don Schott and was walking away from these guys. Caution flag comes out. Brian's gone. We're like, where the hell did he go?
So he pulls off as the leader.
Pulls off as the leader.
To the pit area.
To the hot pits, okay? All of a sudden, here comes Schott. Schott comes back across. Now he's the leader. So we're looking, trying to figure out where he's at. All of a sudden, he's just gone. Now he's starting to come back on the track. Starts dead in the field. 18th in the field, okay? Comes back and was challenging everybody, inside, outside. But the problem is that Schott started with the lead. Okay, green flag comes out, Schott gets the lead. All of a sudden, here comes Travis Cook. Travis Cook then sits there and says, well, I'm going to challenge for the lead now. Goes out and takes the lead over Schott. Schott starts to fall back. Then guess who comes up, caution flag? 5 car of Mark Farah. Mm-hmm. Mark Farah then now wants to challenge. Now it's these two guys. It's Travis Cook, Mark Farah. Don Schott kind of, comes back a little bit. Then all of a sudden, Case spins out. Okay? Gets taken out. Now he goes to the back of the field. It was so nose to tail. Literally 3 laps to the end. Okay? You have Travis Cook on the front. You have Mark Farah. Brian Roden, the Rat Roden, comes all the way through the field and he's challenging for third. He told me, he says, I'm telling you, he says, if we had had 40 laps, he says, I would have been there. He says, we got cut down to 35 for time to make strength and everything else. But 2 laps to the end, here comes Farah. He's hauling the mail on the outside, pushing that cushion, decides, you know what? He says, I'm going to get you on the outside. So Cook comes in, goes up high, pushes him up high. Says, all right, down the straight, white flag comes out. Going to 1 and 2, Ferris says, you know what? I'm trying the bottom. Boom! Goes all the way down the bottom, backstretch there in drag race. It literally looked like they were at the nationals of a drag race because both of them were nose to tail going into 3 and 4. Happens to be Travis kind of got a better drive coming out, got the right rear on that cushion, got the drive. 4 100ths of a second, the win goes to Travis Cook in that 21. The whole grandstands and stuff were cheering. It was that intense. The last 3 laps, mind you, all 35 laps were intense. But the last
when those laps are closing down and that checker's going to drop and you get racing like that.
Crazy. Now as an announcer.
Oh, that's exactly what we want to see every week.
Because, I'm trying to sit there and I got the window open now and I'm screaming and now I kind of got a little excited. But
you know what? That's just what we do. But yeah, we're race fans as well. Yep. But for the fans to open the season like that with quality drivers, those are good drivers you're talking about.
And they weren't. They're nose to tail. And side by side, and nobody touched. There was a couple people and stuff that touched, but it was a little bump here and there. But it was kind of, but it was such good hard racing, for 35 laps that it was one of the best I've seen especially on an opening night.
Yeah, that's a treat right there to get an opening night like that. And we had
crazy.
some good racing when you were with me at Willamette for the opening night.
Did.
That's for everybody a great start in the Northwest for the 2016 season. Sunset is just, those street stocks up there. I'm a big fan of that division at that track. They They're awesome. They're just
fastest little quarter-mile bull ring on the West Coast.
Well, that's the thing is it's big enough to get a little speed on that track, but it's the way it's put together, the configuration. It keeps those cars tight. It keeps them, like you said, side by side, nose to tail. And if you're going to win that feature up here, you're going to earn it. You're going to earn it with those guys because all those names you said. What about the old guy? Was he there, the defending champ?
No, John. This is the thing too, is that John Ireland was not there.
See, I was surprised to hear that.
Very surprised.
Another guy you got to put in the mix. What would happen if he was there? I mean, we saw him pull off a couple wins last year that you thought, it's too late in the game for him.
Well, it came down literally to the end too with him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he had to win that main event for him to win that championship.
Yep. And he pulled it off.
And he did. He pulled it off. And I mean, that was the cool thing too, is I got to interview him. That was awesome.
Yeah. So, Josh, let's talk to some of the fans that were there at Sunset. If you guys want to call us here on the Moxie line, pick up your phones. It's 503-991-2838. You can dial it right here. We'll take your call and we'll put you on the air and we'll talk. I want to hear from some of the fans that were there at Sunset that got to see that action. It is awesome. So
the cool thing too is that we want to talk about everything. Our original program and stuff was safety. Now, mind you, we're going to talk a little bit about it here in the next couple programs. Huge safety.
Well, and that's just a program to put together. There's a lot of research that goes into that. So I don't want to.
People stuff coming. We got to make sure that all the calendars and stuff.
And it's merging schedules with a couple people that we're going to have as guests in here on the air. And it's just going to be one of those deals where we want to put out the best information we can.
Right.
I don't just want to shoot from the hip on something like that.
Well, here at Moxie, we work so hard to make sure that you, the race fans, have all your race results and stuff 100%. We don't do nothing half-ass. And we want to make sure that what you get is 100% and make sure that you get it from us.
And the right information.
The right information, absolutely. And I mean, hey, we're both at the track. You're at Willamette Speedway. You know everything that happened there. I'm at Sunset Speedway. I know everything that happened there. We come together and we give you those results. If if you want to know the results, come out to the tracks.
Absolutely.
It is the best time. Talk about safety real quick, though, is that Discount Race Car Parts, Colin Weinbarger Racing.
This is great, race fans. Listen to this for those listening, because this is a big deal on Discount Race Car Parts. I was surprised to hear this. This was kind of a last-minute deal for me, so something Josh has been working on, and he's got the scoop on this.
Huge deal. Talked to Colin and stuff today, and at Discount Race Car Parts is that any safety item, all the way from seats to gloves, any safety item that you can have for your race car, Discount Race Car Parts will sell it to you. It's only 1 month long. It's to the end of May at cost. So anything that Speedway has.
So they're not going to make a single dime on any safety product they sell.
Absolutely
suits,
nothing.
Gloves, helmets, neck braces, Hans devices, seat belts. I mean, all that stuff. You guys can pick that up at cost from Discount Race Car Parts. That's cool. That just says, hey, those guys work hard to help out guys get their setups, and scale cars and stuff. But to do something like that for the racing community says, hey, we're competitors, but, we're here for you too,
Colin, works up there so hard. He's a racer, of course. We all know the Superman, Colin Weinbarger, and he does so much. Like he's going down tomorrow, to the Shaw chassis deal.
Right.
He's going down there because he can bring it back to his customers. This is what he does, race fans. It's not just for his race program. Yeah, I mean, he gets the knowledge and stuff and he adapts it to his race program, but he wants to make sure that you come to his shop, Discount Race Car Parts, that you will have the same stuff, in the same setup. Or, I mean, he'll sit there and say, hey, look, man, you come to me, go underneath there, he says, I'll make sure that I give you the same results that I have. Mm-hmm. And it's just how you adapt those, to what it is. But I mean, he is there for the racers tenfold, and that's why he said, he came up to me today and he says, will you let people know that this is what we're going to do? It's going to be for the month of May, is that any safety related item that's in Speedway book, if it's safety related, that we will sell at cost. Absolutely zero money, zero dime, will come back to us. It's just at cost. And I said, well, yeah, I said $25. No, he did. It's a good deal. It's something that, of course, we're going to hit on. Safety is a big thing in the racing community.
Well, especially after the Charlie Floyd incident, at Southern Ohio Speedway, where, a young man, very talented, very respected in the race community, was in an unfortunate accident, and the car got upside down. They couldn't get him out. He suffered some burns and ultimately lost his life doing something that he loved. Regardless, it's something that shouldn't happen, and that, whether it's your own program and the gear you're in, or the safety equipment that the crews have. And I think that whole situation there was kind of a little combination of both, and time. It's just getting...
Time was the biggest thing, too. You know, like Sunset Speedway, they have a new fire rig that has...
Yeah, Jeremy Sinet and those guys have really stepped their game up, and they're doing a fantastic job.
The cool part about it was all given to them. It was all volunteered and given to them. Again, all these guys, Northwest Extreme Fire Safety from Willamette Speedway, Sunset Speedway Safety Crew, these guys are all volunteers. They've been, I mean, if you combine how many years these guys have in fire, rescue, safety, first responder, it would be in the 50, 60, 70 years all combined.
Right.
These guys do this, you know, as volunteer based, but we got a rig, or they got a rig donated to them and said, hey, look, but the cool part about it, not only is it a first responder rig, but it also has fire suppression as a sense of foam. And we all know that foam, especially on methanol burning cars, anywhere from a dwarf car, sprint car, you know, late models and stuff have modified, of course, had them, is that methanol is hard to see when it burns. So when you spray foam on it, then it even on regular fire, it dissipates that much faster.
Right.
Enough for somebody to get in there, a rescuer to get in there, get the driver out, and come back. Once that driver's out, let that car...
The race car's replaceable, right.
You know, that driver and stuff is number one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Simpson, Impact, you know, you get a lot of these race companies, race suits.
Sparco.
That sit there and say, hey, look, we give our fire suppression safety, you know, equipment a minute to a minute and a half of fire, you know.
Well, even a lot of the 3 layers, you're going to get 20 to 25 seconds, and people don't realize 20 to 25 seconds in a fire, that's a long time.
Time.
After that suit starts deteriorating. Now that driver's going to feel that. So if you can give a guy 20 seconds to kind of, assess the situation, stop for a second, unhook the belts, get the wheel off, and get out of the car, that is, I mean, that's an eternity to some people in that situation.
And then, you know, not trying to keep on to this, but, you know, safety-wise, you know, especially with, like, you know, the dwarf car that just rolled over, you know, at our track, Sunset Speedway, all the safety harnesses, you know, everything that he had was, you know, helped him walk away from that car. As soon as that car got rolled over, they opened up the little side door. If you guys have ever seen a dwarf car, I know some of you that are listening are from overseas in different countries. You know, Google what a dwarf car looks like here in the States or whatever. They have little side doors. They look like, you know, little mini
32 Fords,
coupes, and, you know, sedans. They opened up the door, took off his belts, right, and walked out. He'll now have to sit there and make sure, you know, he'll have to send them back to wherever, you know, the belts and stuff are from to get them re-inspected to make sure that they haven't torn, stretched, or whatever. But that safety equipment is what saved him. You know, I mean, you know, so he isn't hurt. Talked to here a couple weeks ago, Kevin Roberts. Okay, and this is going to be a big thing once we start talking about the safety deal. Is that we're going to talk to a lot of these drivers through the Northwest here that are bigger, as a sense of like 6-something or kind of heavier set, or have broad shoulders. But I talked to Kevin Roberts, pulled him off this side, and I said, hey, so we're doing this program, and we're going to talk about safety here in the next few weeks. What is the biggest safety and stuff for you? Well, he has a young daughter, Talon, and they have, you know, of course, on their helmets they have all the, you know, fire suppression, the
Hans device,
the neck sock, and the neck sock and stuff is all for fire coming up.
Right.
Because we all know we have just that gap, you know, that 3-inch gap between your collar and the bottom of the helmet. That's a big part, you know, that can get burned. So he has that. But I sat there and I said, well, what's the biggest thing that you have as a sense of safety? He goes, his biggest concern is, 1, fire, of course. Number 2 is getting out of the car if it's upside down. Mm-hmm. Now, Shaw, GRT, TRE, Rayburn, some of the late models, were like that. They make some small, you know...
very tight gaps.
You get into a position, and a lot of these guys, of course, 90% of them are running the big halo when it comes to safety seats, you know, the full containment seats.
Right.
They're running, you know, the Joe's safety seats that have the big halos, you know, the big everything. And trying to get out of these cars with your neck restraint, with your helmet, with your gloves, everything else, especially upside down, is a huge, huge struggle. He told me, he says he would pass out. That's his biggest fear. He says, I don't care what you have to do, get me out of the car. Cut the car apart, whatever the case, get me out of the car.
Right, it's a race car, it's metal.
Yeah, so
it's not important.
You're right. So race fans, you know, that's one thing that we're going to talk about.
And that's a special program we're going to have as we're going to develop that over the next couple of weeks with certain people and choreograph schedules to get a couple guests in here that are, you know, I don't want to use the word experts, but are very knowledgeable in that area, and they'll be good for everybody to listen to, you know.
And you also can, you know, email us at moxiemedia2016@gmail.com.
Yeah, you guys have safety questions. You want to know, you know, hey, look, what's the best thing I can do? How do I do this? You know, what do you recommend?